Let's talk about the persuasive speech. Now, first of all, this is your third speech and your final speech. You're going to be using components that we've learned in the demonstration and how to and informative speeches to write your persuasive speech. Okay, this is your final. You're going to have to fill out the topic worksheet, the outline, and the visual aid, the PowerPoint there. Before we really get into discussing persuasiveness, I want to discuss a little bit about ethics. Ethics is a branch of philosophy that deals with the issues of right and wrong, of moral, immoral, just, unjust, honest, and dishonest. It's when someone is ethical, they're looking for both sides to benefit. Um, in ethics, we how we act ethically establishes our credibility and it shows our character. Ethics keeps persuasion or keeps persuasiveness from being manipulation. Okay. In a persuasive speech, first of all, the speaker, their aim is to try to convince the listener into the speaker's point of view. Also, another thing is that the speaker is asking the listener to take some sort of action or to make some type of a commitment. However, whichever way we approach this, we must keep ethics and ethical behavior and ethical thinking. Um, we have to have good intentions backed up by proof. Now, there are three modes of persuasion. They are through pathos, through logos, and through ethos. Now, when we did the demonstration speech, that was logos, that was logic, it was step by step. There was research behind it. There's evidence based. There's really very little emotion. There's how to do something. In the informative speech, we used more of ethos. We have a tendency to lean upon experience or education or on expertise. We have When it comes to ethos, we have a natural or an innate ability to turn towards authority or have a respect for authority or knowledge. And we use that in the informative speech. But you're also going to use both of those components in your persuasive speech. Now, pathos, this is the third element, and we're adding this to the persuasive speech as well, deals with passion, or that's the way I remember it. Pathos equals passion. It evokes sympathy, it evokes pity, sadness, but it can also invoke happiness and joy. It focuses on feelings rather than facts. This can be very manipulative. People who practice pathos only are very manipulative. It's common in advertising. It's common in political rhetoric. It's common in dealerships, like if you're going to buy a car or something like that. The purpose of pathos is to trigger emotional reactions. Okay. Now, there are certain ways to use pathos. You can use pathos by using vivid language, or you're telling personal, heartfelt stories or anecdotes. Some examples of pathos in play are things like charity ads, oh, those rescue ads where it talks about the animals. Also, political speeches and political rhetoric are examples of pathos. Let's look at persuasion versus manipulation. Okay. And when you are being persuasive, like I've said before, you're looking at a win-win situation. Persuasion is ethical, it's transparent. There's a benefit to both sides or both parties. They provide complete information. They try to keep it as transparent as possible. But when they deal with manipulation, you're dealing with more covert information. They have a tendency to skew information as well. Um, in manipulation, there's a win-lose strategy. Somebody's going to lose. In manipulation, there's more self-interest. There's where they withhold information. It exploits somebody's It exploits anybody's vulnerabilities. That's what manipulation does. But we're held accountable that we don't manipulate through our ethical behavior and our ethical thought processes. Okay. And we have to be careful. We are held accountable for the words that come out of our mouth. In week 3, that module there is a video on libel, defamation, and slander. Um, you can get in trouble for what you say about people, especially if there's no fact to back it up. If you promote an opinion and that opinion changes the way everybody else looks at that individual, then there's liable that's held there. Now, you might be asking, so what should my persuasive topic be? Okay. What do you care about? What does your audience care about? If you're speaking to a group of nurses, you know that you're going to deal with something in the medical field. Okay. Excuse me. Uh, have you experienced something? Let's say you had a you were in an accident and you had a life-changing moment to where the seatbelt saved your life. Maybe you had a health scare, and so you're taking better care of yourself. That that's life changing. Maybe there's something inspiring. Maybe you know someone from foster care who was adopted. Benefits of that. There are some speech examples I have here, like you could talk about requiring financial literacy to middle school and high schoolers. That's a good persuasive topic. Another persuasive topic could be, abolishing or getting rid of time change or daylight savings time. Another persuasive topic could be, can money buy happiness? Or persuade people to drink more water or smile more often. Tips for persuasive speeches. Whenever you choose a topic or whatever topic you choose, you need to have a goal in mind. What are you wanting your audience to come away with? What are you wanting them to do? Um, you have to do the research. That's the thing about a persuasive speech, to keep it persuasive and not manipulative. You're going to do the research to prepare for possibly a counter argument. Someone else might have something to say on the topic that you're speaking on. When you complete that topic worksheet, you want a strong introduction. You might want to use a combination of both of the worksheets. The introductions and the conclusions are basically the same. It's just how you arrange the body and the information in the body of your speech. Also, provide evidence. That's a good tip for your persuasive speeches. Provide evidence. Mention your sources. You had to do that research for a reason, so mention those sources. Something about persuasive speeches is that you can appeal to your listeners' unity or sense of unity. You can show what you have in common and commonalities. Um, you can inspire that the audience with a you can inspire the audience with a personal tale about, how we're alike, or creating more of a connection with their audience. Also, you're going to end that speech just like you did in the demonstration speech with a call to action. Now, that call to action is what you're hoping that your audience will do next. Um, that it's the final outcome. It's that what that goal was. Don't forget to say thank you at the end of your speeches, but also keep in mind that a good persuasive speech is going to contain all 3 elements of pathos, logos, and ethos. Okay. Now, if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to reach out to me through Canvas or through the asun.edu email. Also, keep in mind, this is your persuasive speech. It is your final. It needs to last 3 minutes. You need to have at least three points that you're making. I would do it a pro, con, pro. If something sounds too good to be true, more than likely it is. So you want to have sometimes some counter information in there. But if you have any questions at all, please reach out and email me. Thank you.